Hey guys, it's Maymay. You know, when you get started with one product, it kind of gives you other ideas for other projects. Well, I'm stuck on these guys. I love them. And the cool thing is, when you buy them, you get a lot in a package. So finding multiple ways to use them is cool. So let's today turn these into an album all by themselves. I'll be using the paper pack called Cider and Donuts. I'm in love with this paper pack from Simple Stories, so it should be fun. Let's make a fall album. I love a fall album. They are my favorite ones. So I have three different kinds of photo sleeves here, and good news, we have different ones coming to the store. We found some more that we really like, so keep an eye out for those if you're loving photo sleeves. So I have the ones that are 6x8 full sheet, or the entire section, the entire pocket is 6x8. Then I've got 2x2s, and then I also have a 3x4 and 4x6 combo. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into an album, right? So I'm going to take two of these pages that are the full sheet, and those are going to be my front and back. And I'm a little tempted to put one in the middle as well because I love the full sheets. I feel like I can put a lot on them. So I'm thinking I'm going to do that. These, look, I have enough to do a whole other album with, right? All right, so put those aside. Then these are just cute. These little 2x2s, I think they're precious. I'm going to put those in between. I think I'm just gonna do one of them though, because I feel like they're cute, but I don't get as much real estate from those. You think you would with all those pockets, but you kind of don't. But then I think I'm gonna use two of these, and that is gonna be my album. Now it may be strange, but just stick around, it'll make sense. So I'm gonna go cover, full sheet cover. I'm gonna go one of those combos. Then I think I'm gonna do a full sheet again, then another combo, then this little 2x2, and then the full sheet. I may switch the 2x2. I'm kind of feeling like I might prefer it right after this full sheet because it's so cute when it's filled up. That will be my album, okay? It may change, and it can change because of how I'm going to assemble this, but that's where I'm going to get started. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to work on the front cover. I just think this will be a fun one to start with. So I've got this full sheet. Let's get some cardstock out. So since this is going to be a standalone album using these pockets, I think for the front and back, I'm going to use some of this medium weight chipboard from Graphic 45. I'm just going to cut this to fit inside the front and the back. So I've cut two pieces and I cut it too wide. So I'm going to cut this down to 6 1/8. I mismeasured there. So the Tim Holtz trimmer is perfect for chipboard. So now I've got two pieces, 6 1/8 by 8 1/2. Now what I want to do, because when you measure this pocket flat, you have more room in it than when you make it dimensional. I want to test these guys and see how they fit, okay? So what I'm going to do is slide this in and make sure it'll go in fairly easily. And so when I add cardstock and things to it, the thickness won't be too much for the pocket. Okay, so we've got it ready. I'm going to slide that in and see. I really think it's going to be fine because I'm able to get that in, especially if I mount with a matte edge the other pieces that are going inside. And I think that'll be pretty to have that little bit of craft showing. So there's the front. Let's put one in the back one, and that way I'll know which ones these are. I also discovered if you lay this down flat on your work surface, things slide in and out easier. Trying to do it in the air is a lot harder. So look, that'll be our covers. That's going to be perfect. Let's cover them with cardstock. I'm cutting this 6 by 8 3/8. That's because I'm just making it 1/8 of an inch smaller than my chipboard that I just previously cut. You can do this based on whatever photo sleeve you're using, but I think I'll have a better time of not having my cardstock kind of fold up in the pockets when I'm putting it in if I leave myself that chipboard edge to be kind of the protector. So that'll be one. I'm going to cut the rest. Because I want this to lay really flat in the book, I'm going to use some of this sticky tape. This is from Craft Perfect, and it's really wide. I think I want the plaid up. Let me do it this way. I'm just going to place this down. If any of it hangs over, it's not the end of the world because I can trim it off. But I do want to have as much adhesive coverage on the back as I can get. I'm just going to put my hand here and do this with my finger blade. And again, any that's not perfect, I can trim before I put it in. Now, I did that because it covers that much at once. Then I'm just going to supplement it with thinner tape. So I know this is a lot of tape. And if this is something you don't feel comfortable doing or you don't want to use this much tape in this spot, I get it. tape can be expensive. So if you just want to use your wet glue, that's fine. Whenever I'm doing something that's kind of the main part of the build, something that's going to have a lot of the weight or different things like that put on it, or the thing that's going to be opened and closed more than anything else, I just kind of like to give it the best chance of holding up for a long time. All right, sticking that down. That makes that so easy. And I know when I go to put this in the book, the edges are all going to be stuck down. All right, I'm going to keep covering. Note to self, check these before you glue them down. The one I just did before this, I cut really poorly. And this one's cut pretty bad too. Maybe not. I think that one's going to be okay. Check them first though, because if you do like I did that first one, you're not going to love it. But that's okay. By the time I get it decorated, you won't see all my mistakes. So let's see if we can get these in here. We should be fine, but we did put a little thickness on them. So let's try to slide that in. Oh, perfect. There we go. That fits really well, and I still have room to add more little decorations to it. That's going to be cute, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to put the front one and the back one in really quick. Now, I know for reasons of this video, I'm going to be pulling these in and out a lot to show you guys. If I were you, I would probably not do all this put in, put out until you're done, but I wanted to show you what we're working on, so I'll do it, and then you won't have to do it whenever you're making it at home. Okay, I love how these turned out, but I don't love this so much. And I discovered that in the top of here, there is a little slot just like here. And if you cut the piece just right, you can put it in there and make it so cute. So I want you to measure yours. Like I said, if you're using a product that's not mine, don't use my same measurements. But here's what I did. I put my ruler on it. And this one's going to be much like here. It has to be a little thinner than the actual opening. And what I found worked best for me was 3/8. So I cut some strips that are 3/8 by 8.5. And actually, I didn't even cut the 8.5 part. I just cut the 3/8 and slid them in. Let me show you how it works without showing you the front of this one. This is a piece I did earlier, and I don't want to show you the front because it'll give away what we're doing next. But isn't that cute how that slides in? So let's make some for that. This is also a great place to use your scrap pieces that you have left over from all those cuts. Unfortunately, those little decorator strips aren't quite long enough. These guys are only 7.5 inches long. And on the other side, well, on this paper pack in particular, they're about the same. You may have a paper pack where they would work, but this one, it doesn't. So 3/8 is 1/8 of an inch smaller than 1/2. So that will be cute in there. Let's see if the mushrooms will show. This will be cute. Let's look at it and see. I think they will show. At least the mushroom tops will show. Yeah, that'll be cute. So this one worked out pretty well to be able to show all the little mushrooms. So I think that will be cute. And we can slide these in. So I'm going to go back to the front. This is what I want to be my front cover, so you can pick out the one you want. I really think the little plaid will be cute there. Remember, you've got two sides. This one I don't love because the little mushroom stems. And of course, this one's plaid, but I want to use the mushrooms on that side. So let's put this guy in just like this. Another tip, what I discovered, if you'll reach up here and sort of bend that top layer back, you're not really putting a crease in it, but just kind of bending that top layer, it gives you a place to get this guy started. Because my old eyes are not seeing like they used to, but doing that helps me get there. And also laying him flat and taking your time. He's really easy at the first, but when we get past this second hole, it gets a little stiffer. See how it's kind of slowing down on me? Just take your time. You only have to do this a few times, and once it's in, it's in. We don't have to take it out again. But in that, it just dresses it up so much. Then I just took my scissors and cut it off even at the end because I think it's cute like that. Save these because I'll show you a place we can use those and they're already cut for us. I think I'm going to put these mushrooms on the back. I'll have to because that side is plaid and it'll match too much. But this will be cute too. All right, so back cover, front cover. Let me show you what I want to do here. Do you recognize these frames? These are from the same paper pack. They are an extra that you can purchase. They are called chipboard frames from Cider and Donuts, and they are so cute. I really like this little squirrel. What you do is take your piece and lay it out where you want the little photo to be. I think this will be so cute on the front. If you're doing a sideways album, look how cute that is. Mine's not going to be sideways today, so I'm not going to be able to use that one. Oh, look at that. That's kind of on the front, isn't it? Just kind of, um, so we could put a picture in the middle. And it doesn't actually go perfectly straight either. It really goes like that. That's cute. We got to decide between these two. This one or this one. I like the wreath. I think the wreath shows up better. All right, so this is what I did. I am not too awful worried about underneath here. I just need to know when I put my photo in there, it needs to live under here. But what you might want to do to save yourself a little headache in the future, let me show you. So if you're like me, you have some oval dies or some shapes of dies. I think it's a good idea to take this little guy and to the back of it, try to size one up and see what'll fit, because we can make our place photo here spot the size we need it to be to hide behind this oval, to hide behind this wreath. And look, it shows a tiny bit here, but it's not a big deal. But that way on our page, let me make this make sense for a second. Here's our page. If we on the inside put this where we want it, you see, then our photo will live right where it needs to on the front. So we can do this one, but I got to show you something. This is so cool. So these are the waffle flower embroidery or, stitching dies. These are the ones that cut out the grid that you can stitch on. If I hold it that way, you might can see it better. Look how cute this is. If you did one of these here that you could embroider maybe a title or something and put that behind, maybe I love fall or something, maybe I and a heart and the word fall would be really cute, something like that to use your stitching as well. Now, y'all know me. I haven't taken this up yet. Shannon has, but I'm not going to ask her to do that for me. I'm going to do this myself this time. But when she does hers, it's a good idea to do that. So for me, I'm just going to make sure I get those acorns in the right direction, and I'm just going to use an oval on the inside. So I got it cut, and I did the one that said, give thanks, to have that showing through the wreath. That's really cute just in and of itself until I put a picture there. But you also could do a cute little image from the paper pack and have it show it until a picture goes in. Let me show you how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to place this as centered as I can, and I'm going to do kind of a little dry run just to see how this works, see if it's kind of where I want it. And I kind of need to make sure I stay close to this side and not go too far that way. But that looks pretty good to me and about where I want it. So I'm going to make myself a mark so I don't mess up when I pick it up. I'm going to put a little pencil mark there, or a little white pen because I can see that. Just doing a dot. So if I can see these dots, I know I'm in the right spot. So let's glue this down. And I'm not worried about those dots. You're not going to see them. So this would be my page. Okay. And of course, I'd put a picture and add more ephemera. Then that'll live in there. But then I want to put this guy onto the front. So he will stay on the front. I think that's so pretty. But here's what I'm trying to decide. Let me show you this. So here's one I did earlier, and I got lucky that plaid lined up perfectly. But let me show you this. I did not do the chipboard in here. This was kind of my first test, and I definitely think it needs the chipboard. But can you see on the back? I really don't care how this looks. Honestly, it's never really going to be seen like this. I tried art glitter glue and it just did not do what I wanted. It did dry, but it didn't adhere like I wanted it to. So then I did sticky tape, and you can see where the sticky tape is, it is sticking. Now, can I pull it off? Yes. And the reason I can is because this chipboard, the backer will release. That's going to happen no matter what, because I was thinking I might try doing this with some Fabri-Tac and see how that does. I'm a little afraid this could mess up the plastic, so I haven't gone that route. But this is going to work to hold it on. You just want to make sure you get your adhesive everywhere you can, and you don't want to pull on this piece. It's not coming off on its own. It's not just going to fall off. But because this is, layered chipboard, a layer of chipboard could be pulled off. Not the end of the world, because you can glue it back down. You could glue the layer back, but you just need to be mindful of that. So I'm going to take this and put sticky tape. The other cool thing is I don't have to pop it up. In my mind, I was like, I'm going to have to pop this up. No, you don't, because it goes flat on the front. So it might look like I'm going a little wacky with my tape, but honestly, I want tape as many places as I can get it to hold this guy down. And because it's tear tape, this is so easy to just lay this down and just tear and get that little piece. I will have to go and, peel all these little pieces off, but that'll be fine. I could use E6000, But again, sometimes the solvent style adhesives can eat through plastic. I have not tried the E6000. It probably would work, but this is just fine. But whatever you're comfortable using, you might want to do a test before you do it. You just never know, one material to another. All right, now we're just going to place this over, get it lined up kind of like we had it before. And then when we put our photo in, we know where to put it on the inside. But look how pretty that looks. I just think that's so cute. I also love how the other one turned out. Let me show you. This is that one. Of course, I'd put the page in, but isn't that adorable? And you don't have to slide the photo in, so you can stick this all the way down because the photo lives behind it. So cute. All right, let's flip this over and decide what we want to do back here. You can tell I'm just kind of playing today. So here's this. I have a 4x6 piece that is for a photo. I don't think I'm going to put any place photo here places in this book. I want to actually put some pictures in this whenever I decorate, which might be a part 2 for this video, but I'm using this to help me plan, okay? So what I want is I want a photo with a border around it here, and then I want to decorate around that. So I pulled out some of these trays. I love these guys when I'm doing a project. They're fantastic. And I'm going to put the ephemera, and so this one is called sentiment bits, and then we've got one that is bits and pieces. So if I put these in here like so, I can dig through them and they won't be all over my desk. And I can also kind of pull out the pieces I want and put them in this tray. And because it has a lip, it stays and it doesn't make a mess on my desk. So I love these guys, especially when I'm working on a project. So I'm going to put that one there, and I'm going to do one more for this guy. Now these little pieces come in very handy because as I'm looking for what I want, I know these are in this side and these are in this side. And if I keep them like that, and sometimes I do, sometimes I mix everything up as I get going, but it really helps. So like if I know what I'm looking for here, I can kind of dig through here and be like, oh, this is cute. So if I want to put a cider and donut cart, which is super adorable right down here, and then maybe I want to find some words or something to go with it, maybe I'll look through this one. So I've taken that one out, taken that page out, and I think I want to run this beside this picture. So I may lay it down first, and I know I need this picture kind of over in the corner. Let's just see if this is what I want to do. So I can get that lined up and get the side stuck, and then we'll pull this little guy out. Now I just need to see how long I need it. So right past that little dot. I usually just look on the sticker and see what is close. Perfect. And then I'll put this one back because I'll use it later. Now this guy will go here. That gives us a little decorative edge there. That's super cute on the side like that. This guy's going to go at the bottom. And then of course him at the top. And then I wanted Let's Snuggle. Now here's my plan. Because I'm going to be adding a photo in here, I'm not going to glue everything down direct. You also could just kind of temporarily stick this and wait on the pictures if you wanted to. What I'm going to do instead is just do my normal kind of half glue situation, because everything's going to stay in place inside of our little photo sleeve until we put the pictures in. And you're probably like, you sure are covering up a lot of that photo. That's the thing. It's really cute when you just have little faces peeking out, happy faces or something like that. You don't have to see the whole photo. It's perfectly fine to lay things over. So this I'm going to put as far out as I can because I want the image. I don't know what picture's going here, but I want it to fit in there just right. So that means I can glue down all of this L on the end and a little bit of the one before it. And then what that'll do is leave this open, so when I have my photo, I can slide it in just like that. Perfect. And then I don't have to put in photo spots. Same thing here. I do not want to glue where my picture is going to go, so I can glue this bottom part and this edge, and I can still slide my photo in. Also, when you're doing this, less is more here, but the reason that is because once you get everything in place, you can always go back and add glue underneath these guys if you need to. We're really just tacking them into place so we know where they're going to live. once I put a picture in here, I probably will go back underneath these and stick a little glue so they'll stick down. And that will be adorable. Love this. I think I'm going to add that little bit of leaf back here too, just for this blank section. Just a little too bland for me. Okay, watch your ephemera when you're sliding in. Ask me how I know. We're okay. It didn't tear. Just make sure that you're paying attention because, we don't glue that all the way down. Isn't that cute in there? Wait till the picture's in. Here's the front. Now, you might be like, what are you going to do about those holes you covered? I'm just going to repunch them. So I'm just going to come right here and using the hole in the plastic sleeve as my guide, I'm just going to repunch those. And now that is ready to be my cover. And I can add other things. And you'll see how that's going to go. But this is the cover and this is page 1. So let's go to page 2. So this is the back of our book. This is going to be the inside of the back cover, and this will be the back cover. This 6x8 paper pad has the cutest images. I think this would be a good place to put something like this, just so I can have it because I think it's cute. And on the back, I'm not as concerned. Like, look at this. This is so cute. This is my favorite season of all. Let's see what this looks like. To put that in the back, I'll have to trim it down, trim it up a little bit to make it fit, but wouldn't that be super cute back there? Just something to have that's cutesy, that doesn't require too much work on that. Very few people spend much time on the back of the book, Let's try that one. Let's try cutting it down just a little bit. So let's start with taking 1/4 of an inch off each side. Don't worry too much about the image. You'll notice on like paper packs and things like that, imagery hangs off the page anyway. You do want to worry about your wording. So I'm probably I may leave that alone and see if I can get what I need from everywhere else. But like up here, even if I were to cut some of that little bar off, it really wouldn't matter. I know that we struggle with that sometimes, but like I'm going to cut into this umbrella. But when you see the final cuts, you'll see that it'll be just fine. See how that looks? And let's lay it down. See, and I get just enough plaid. That's adorable. Let's glue that in. So on this page also, this is my back page that we just did. I want to do a little flip up page. And I kind of want to feature one of these pretty pages, like that flips up from the book. This one's going to be too wide, so let's cut it down 1/4 of an inch on maybe all sides. Let's do 3 sides. Let's do the 2 long sides first, and then I'm going to cut from the bottom because my wording is a little to the top on this page, not so far to the bottom. Let's see if this will make this work. I might can use these in a minute too. I'm going to leave them right there just in case because I have more to do. So here's oh yeah, see, that's perfect. If I do that, then I can make this be a lift up on top of here. Now, this paper is a little thin to be a little pop-up on its own, so I think I'm going to use another piece of cardstock. So the way we're going to do this is this piece is 5 3/4 by 8 1/2. That gets me a little matte edge all the way around this guy down here at the bottom, and it leaves me a piece up here to be my binding strip without having to create one. So what I'm going to do is just score this 1/2 inch down from the top, and when I fold this and crease it, this will become what I can put this into the book with. This is super easy to do, so let me show you. It's just a cute way to add more real estate to these types of projects. And I normally would put it back here, but because I'm not pre-planning this album, I'm just playing as I go. I'm going to put this here so it doesn't show on the back cover, and I can cover it up with things on the inside. So that's where it's going to live for me. So we'll just glue this down. If you're going to make this after the fact, you'll be able to hide this in your cardstock. But like I said, I did not pre-plan this at all. I just sat down and started playing. And sometimes it's just how I like to craft. I bet you do too. I bet sometimes you're just like, I got an idea and let's just see what we get from it. So I'm going to glue this down here to the top, just like so. And I'm going to crease it nice and firm. And I use the same color as my cardstock here. As my chipboard, so it would kind of blend. I thought that would be a good idea. I don't know that that really matters, but I do think it looks good. It looks clean up there. All right, so now this guy is going to live here. I think that'll be pretty. And if I wanted to, and I kind of think I do, I could round these edges before I put this on, and I think it'll look good. So let's do that. This is my 1/2 inch corner rounder. So I use the 1/2 inch there, and then I'm going to do the same here. I'm not going to round the top I think it looks good sometimes when you just do the bottoms. So that will live like that. And I think it might be cute to do a little tab to lift this up with. So we can do that later or we can do it now. Let's see what it looks like if we do it underneath here. So this is a tab punch from EK Success. This is going to be perfect for what we want. Just going to put my cardstock in, get that lined up like I want it, and punch it. I wouldn't normally go into a big piece like this to get a punch like that, but I dropped this on the floor and then rolled over it with my office chair behind the scenes, you guys. And I'm like, I have to use this now because I damaged it. So I've been trying to get the most out of it. All right, so these guys fold in half, just like so. And its size makes it so that I don't really have to hide it. But if I wanted to, I could glue it down like this and it would be even with the edge. Again, if I want it to be. And then I can put it behind here and it just kind of becomes seamless that if I wanted to do it that way. I think I want it to stick out a little bit. I really don't mind if this book has pieces that stick out here and there. So I think I want it to stick out like that. And let me see if I like it with the page behind it. I don't know. I like it. I'm fine with it either way. Let's go ahead and put it down. And then we'll put the paper on top of it. I'm not much on thinking ahead on these kind of tab situations. I usually just know I want to use tabs and put them in later. But if you want to plan this all out ahead of time, go right ahead. This is kind of how you do that. Just kind of lay it, place it, look at it kind of thing. Pretty. Okay, let's put this guy down. In my mind, this kind of book is less about the amount of pictures and more about the fun we put in it, just playing with paper packs and just kind of doing some cute little pieces. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm not really thinking too much about getting 100 pictures in. I just want this to be cute and allow me to have fun with the paper. So this will now slide into our sleeve, but let's keep working on this page a bit. How's that for a cliffhanger, guys? Okay, listen, here's what we're going to do. This video, I kept filming and I did some really fun stuff, but it needs to be in part 2. So this is our cover. We'll just do a quick walkthrough, cover and first page. This is what we just did, and I've already decorated inside, and I'm not going to show it to you. You'll have to come back for part 2. It's underneath there. And then the back. And I've got so many more fun things planned for this album. So I encourage you to come back Saturday night. The video will go up at 6 p.m. for part 2, and then we'll just continue. Part 3, ever how many it takes for me to get done. This has been a lot of fun, and I have so many other ideas, so I hope you'll stick around. Now, if you're starting one of these, if you've already made one of these, if you're in the process of it, I want to see it. So head to my Facebook group called Maymay Made It, and so did I. You can share there, or you can share on our customer gallery at MaymayMadeIt.com. Don't forget, this is a Thursday night video you're watching right now, so there is a live show that happens right after called the Crafter After Show, where we'll probably see a sneak peek of this guy. So check out the after show, and until next time, bye now.